to go ahead and open this meeting and welcome everyone to the Monterey Salinas Transit Board of Directors meeting of April 14th, 2025. And let's see. So to participate, there are three ways. This meeting is being broadcasted via Zoom. The meeting ID is 845-0083-6234 with passcode 652252. And you can attend by phone as well by dialing 669-900-6833 with the same meeting ID and passcode. At this time, public comments may be made during public comments. They may be made either in person via Zoom or email. And a friendly reminder to all speakers that MST is committed to civility and is mindful of its responsibility to protect the work environment, to assure civility in its public meetings. And the public is encouraged to engage in respectful dialogue that supports the freedom of speech and values diversity of opinion. Failure to engage in respectful dialogue may forfeit the speaker's right to participate during public comment. With that, members of the public may attend the board meeting here in person and request to speak when the chair opens up for public comment. With that, I'll go ahead and go to the item 1, and this is roll call. And Jeanette.
City of Carmel by the Sea.
Here.
City of Delray Oaks.
Here.
City of Greenfield.
Here.
City of Gonzales.
Here.
City of King.
Present.
City of Marina.
Alternate here.
City of Monterey.
Present.
City of Pacific Grove. City of Sand City.
Present.
City of Salinas.
We are here.
City of Seaside.
Here.
City of Soledad. And County of Monterey. You have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. With that, we'll move on to the Pledge of Allegiance, and I would like to ask our Marina alternate Mayor Delgado if he would lead us in the pledge. And I'll give you a minute. I'm sorry to say that one.
Really nice bagels. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you.
We'll move on to review of the highlights, and Cara.
Yes, thank you, Chair. On your consent agenda, among the usual items, we have a special resolution of appreciation for Sid Williams for his time on the Measure Q Oversight Committee. I'm not sure if Sid is here today, but he may be participating online. He recently left the Oversight Committee. He was its founding chairperson. We also have a couple of items. Item 3.8 is for authorizing staff to execute the necessary documents for the state of California's low carbon transit operations program funds. We also have on 3.10 the purchase of some trucks on a state contract. I'm sorry, I missed one, an important one. 3.7 is granting an easement to the Transportation Agency for Monterey County with regard to their projects located on Impton Road and Marina to construct part of the Fort Ord Trail and Greenway project, FORTAG. Then also on the agenda as far as action items, you'll receive an update on Greenfield line 33, and we had a request from board member Rodriguez to modify that item, which we did Friday morning, so that your board can also provide any additional direction, if any, to staff with regard to that item. On 6.2, we have the Surf Busway and Bus Rapid Transit project authorizing the construction of that project, getting into under contract. It's been a long time coming. And then, then we're, as we're starting construction on that project, item 6.3 is to kick off a study, for the, East Alisal, bus rapid transit and, looking at potential relocation of the Salinas Transit Center. That concludes, my review of the agenda. And on closed session, I'm sorry, we do have a conference with property negotiators, regarding some property in Salinas. That concludes my review of the agenda. This time I mean it. Thanks.
Are you sure? Last
I
one?
don't know. Better to go with it.
Okay, thank you, Carl. With that, we'll move on to public comments on matters not on the agenda. So at this time, members of the public may address the board on any matters not on today's agenda. With that, there's a time limit of not more than 3 minutes for each speaker, and the public is encouraged to engage in respectful dialogue. The committee may not take action or respond immediately to any public comments presented, but may choose to follow up at a later date by either staff or on a subsequent agenda. So with that, I will open public comment, and this is on any item not on today's agenda. And I see someone in the back. If you'd like to come up to the podium and state your name.
Let's make sure that they know.
My name is Hazel Wolf. I reside in Greenfield, California.
Is this regarding item 6.1, the Greenfield
Is it
update?
regarding the circulator?
Yeah, that's later on the agenda.
Correct.
Okay,
So,
Yeah.
so when we get to that item, we'll have public comment on that
So
at
it's
that
not on
time.
the table right now.
No, this is for anything not on the agenda. The item you're referring to is on the agenda, and when we get to that item, it'll be 6.1.
6-1.
I
Okay,
guess.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Public comment is still open.
anyone, I'm not seeing anyone with their hand raised online on Zoom. So I believe there's no public comment for
Okay.
matters not on the agenda.
Okay, well, with that, we'll go ahead and close public comment and move to the consent item. The consent item consists of items that can be approved in a single motion, and any director may request that an item be discussed and considered separately. So at this time, is there any item that you would like to pull from any of the directors? And not seeing any,
Motion approval.
let's go ahead and open this up to public comment first. So, public comment is open on this item. And not seeing any, we'll go ahead and close public comment. We do have a motion for approval, Delgado, and a second with Director Labar. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. And at this time, we will move on to item 4. This is recognitions and special presentations. So 4.1, we have April's 2025 Employee of the Month, Caleb Aquino, Mobility Specialist, and Ruben Gomez is going to, if you'd like to come up and give a few words about Caleb. Caleb, sorry.
Good morning, MST Board, MST staff, and members of the public. I'm Christy Sugabo, Mobility Services Manager. Ruben is on personal leave today, so I'll be covering for him. It is my pleasure to announce that MST has selected Mobility Specialist Caleb Aquino Lopez as the Employee of the Month for April 2025. Caleb started his career as a mobility specialist in late December of 2022, and he has consistently delivered a high level of support to MST's Measure Q funded mobility programs and services. He is responsible for providing administrative support to the Transportation Reimbursement Incentive Program trips and Veterans Program outreach activities. Additionally, Caleb supports various mobility programs, including travel training, MST rights determination, and the taxi voucher program. Caleb demonstrates a strong commitment to supporting the elderly, individuals with disabilities, and veterans within our community. His diligent efforts in providing administrative support to the Transportation Reimbursement Incentive Program trips have resulted in the successful enrollment of 79 new participants and the processing of 19,614 subsidized trips. In the fiscal year of 2024, the program experienced a 46% increase in trips compared to fiscal year 2022. Caleb actively participates in various outreach activities for veterans, including his role in the Monterey County Veterans Collaborative. His commitment to providing excellent customer service to our veteran service providers helps to foster respect and strengthen MST's relationship with the veteran community. Caleb consistently delivers outstanding customer service and demonstrates excellence in all assigned tasks. Please join me and our MST leadership team in congratulating Caleb on being selected as Employee of the Month for April 2025.
Thank you, everybody. Just wanted to give a quick little thank you speech. I wrote it down. I'm honored and humbled to receive this recognition from MST and the board. I want to express my deepest gratitude to my manager, Christy, my supervisor, Ruben, and the mobility team for their unwavering support and collaboration. This achievement is not a personal one, but a testament to the incredible work and dedication of our amazing team. I am truly proud to be a part of this team that strives to make a positive impact in our community. Additionally, I would like to thank my family for their constant support and encouragement. Their unwavering belief in me provides me with constant inspiration, and I am deeply grateful for their presence in my life. Thank you once again for this incredible honor, and I look forward to continuing to grow and develop my career here at MST. Thank you.
Follow. So you heard it from Caleb. I just want to say that this month marks the 10th year of MST collecting Measure Q funds and having these special mobility services for seniors, veterans, and persons with disabilities. It was supported by 72% of the voters, an unheard of amount of support. And so we couldn't deliver these services that the public wanted without people, dedicated people like you, Caleb. So thank you so much. I have your Employee of the Month pin and a plaque. And you've already got your check, I hope. All right, you let me know. And with that, all we need to do is take a picture.
Okay.
Thank you.
I just want to just say a word. Caleb, you've been on board since 2022. You turned those numbers around. You're a vet. You are an advocate for MST, and you turned those numbers like 46%. So awesome, just awesome. So thank you. And
Hey, let's get it. Hey, here, you get in center. You're the star. You're the star.
One more.
One more. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Yeah. Yes. I know, it's just another thing.
okay, with that, we'll move on to the next item, and that is the 25-year service anniversary for Ernie Sanchez, coach operator. And if I didn't butcher the last name, Tiziano?
Tiziano.
Tiziano.
We call him, we'll call him Tim.
Italian?
No, we'll call-
Hello.
we call him Tim.
Tizian.
Tim.
Good morning,
Welcome.
board members, MSC staff, and members of the public. My name is Tiziano Minelli, and I'm an operations superintendent. I'm here to recognize Coach Operator Ernie Sanchez for his 25 years of excellent service. Ernie, in his early days, before joining MST, worked for a few years at a TVL hospital, and then we were lucky enough to get him. He has served as a line instructor for many years, helping the next generation of coach operators with his knowledge and experience. Throughout his career, Ernie has received a number of awards, including the MST Award of Excellence, recognizing his outstanding record in safety, perfect attendance, on-time performance, and customer service. His calm, humble presence and genuine care for his job have earned him the respect and admiration of coworkers and passengers alike. Ernie is a proud father of 4 children and has multiple grandchildren. As a matter of fact, he welcomed his newest granddaughter just a couple of months ago. Please join me in congratulating Coach Operator Ernie Sanchez for his 25 years of unwavering service, truly one of MST finest.
I just want to thank Ernie. He's one of the last ones that has seniority on me by a total of 2 months. So thank you, Ernie, for everything you do. And for our 25th anniversary, our employees get a nice booklet that they get to choose the gift of their choosing out of, so they can get to pick what they want. So we don't have a plaque or thing here for you, but you got your book, and you can, I don't know, whether it's a smoker or whatever it is you want, you pick it out of that book. Thank you, Ernie. Appreciate that. Let's get a photo. You have anyone here, Ernie, with you that you'd like to in a picture? Mr. Nolasco. Yeah. Mr. Nolasco? No?
Yeah, he's got me. I was in his trap.
Okay, you're all right. Absolutely. Yeah, 22 years. See if we can get us all in here. There you go.
1, 2, 3, and another one. Thank you.
Thank you. Not an easy 25 years, I can guarantee you that. It was things. Yeah, thank you.
And moving on, we have, I don't know if Sid Williams is here, but we have a recognition and appreciation for him.
Right, we invited his family. I don't know if anyone from Sid Williams' family is online or here in person, but if you are, let yourself be known. If not, I can read the resolution if that's appropriate.
We could, or if he, will he be here?
Sid has some serious health issues, which
Okay.
is why he's had to step down from the committee. So I wouldn't anticipate him coming to this meeting in person.
All right. Well, Carl, if we could.
Sure.
read the
Whereas Sid Williams, after retiring from the U.S. Army as a command sergeant major with 27 years of service to our country, continued working in our community and improved the quality of life for local veterans. Whereas Sid Williams actively participated as a member of the Monterey County Mobility Coalition, who in 2014 advocated for the successful passage of Measure Q to fund mobility programs for Monterey County veterans, seniors, and persons with disabilities. And whereas with the passage of Measure Q, Sid Williams volunteered to become a member and chair of the Measure Q Citizens Oversight Committee from July 6, 2015 through March 15, 2025. And whereas as chair of the Measure Q Oversight Committee, Sid Williams has been a strong advocate of MST's efforts to support transit services for veterans, seniors, and persons with disabilities. And whereas Sid Williams has been a strong advocate for public transit within the community, helping friends, neighbors, and visitors access transit in the Monterey Peninsula area and beyond. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Directors wishes to express their sincerest gratitude and appreciation for Sid Williams' service as a member and chair of the Measure Q Oversight Committee and its vision of connecting communities, creating opportunity, and being kind to our planet. Your board adopted this resolution on this day, 14th day of April, 2025. You adopted that on the consent agenda. That is our resolution.
Comments?
Yeah, I just want to make a quick comment about Sid. He has been a resident of City of Marina for about 25 years, and he's been hugely supportive in the American Legion and the Veterans Transition Center as a board member there as well. And he contributed a lot to our community, not just Marina, as we're hearing today. So I'm sorry he's not here today, but he very well deserved any thanks and congratulations going Sid's way. They're very well deserved, and we wish him and his family the best.
Thank you. And directors? And if not, yes, I'll just add on, Sid has served, he served 27 years in the Army and served for 9 years on the Measure Q Oversight Committee, advocating, like Chris says, for veterans, seniors, and person with disabilities. So he's been a strong advocate and friend to MST, and congratulations to him. So. Thank you. With that, we'll go ahead and move on to receive a presentation on the 10-year anniversary of Measure Q accomplishments. And Christy will give us a presentation. Christy or Carl?
It's gonna be Christie.
Okay.
You've heard enough of me today.
All right, good morning again. My name is Christy, Mobility Services Manager for MST. So next slide, please. So as Carl mentioned earlier, we are celebrating our 10th year anniversary for our Measure Q funding, specifically for funding of mobility programs and services. So there are 6 core Measure Q funded programs that MST offers. The MST Rides program is MST's paratransit service for persons with disabilities, for those who may not be able to use the regular bus system for all or some of their trips. The taxi voucher program, it's for seniors who are 65 years or older, persons with disabilities enrolled in our MST Rides program, or for veterans. A taxi trip is one voucher with 3 copay, a value of $17 meter reading one way. Then we have the senior and veterans shuttle services that operates on a fixed route bus schedule, that the locations of the bus stops are placed in areas that serves the needs of our seniors and veterans. And then we have the travel training program. It is a program to teach individuals how to safely and independently travel to their destination using the MST bus system. For someone who is new to the bus system, or for someone needing to learn to board with their mobility device on the MST bus. Then there's the Transportation Reimbursement Incentive Program that you heard a little bit about earlier when I introduced Caleb. This is a driver volunteer program for seniors, persons with disabilities, or veterans. Enrolled participants may designate their own volunteer driver to provide the transportation, and in return, MST reimburse the participants, who then pay their volunteer driver for the trips provided. Then lastly, there's the Navigator Volunteer Program. This program, we recruit for volunteers who help promote MST services and mobility programs to the public, and provide bus ride experience feedback to MST, or working alongside MST staff at MST events. Next slide, please. So to start with the MST Rides program, as I mentioned, this is a complimentary service to MST bus services for persons with disability in accordance with the Americans with Disability Act. So thanks to Measure Q funding for its operations and MST's commitment to enhancing mobility for persons with disabilities, in 10 years, MST has provided over 1.2 million rides. Next slide, please. Then we have the taxi voucher program, a program dedicated to give mobility options for seniors, for persons with disabilities, and veterans. And with Measure Q funding, those enrolled in the program are able to travel on same-day reservation, same-day trip. that in 10 years, 411,000 trips were taken by seniors, persons with disabilities, and veterans. Next slide, please. Shuttles for seniors and veterans. This is a planned shuttle service to meet the travel needs of the seniors and veterans by strategically placing bus stop locations where the seniors and veterans travels destinations are located in Salinas and Peninsula, such as for their shopping needs, health medical facilities, and service organization destinations. Thanks to Measure Q, and in 10 years, the senior shuttle had 524,484 boardings, and the veterans shuttle had 132,235 boardings, altogether provided 656,719 boardings. Next slide. The travel training program. Safety and independence is very important to someone who is new to riding the bus system. For someone who has a mobility limitation using cane, walker, or wheelchair, safety and independence is priority. The program teaches travel skills to enhance mobility, and thanks to Measure Q funding, MST staff completed 4,684 training sessions in 10 years. Next slide, please. Then there's the Transportation Reimbursement Incentive Program, TRIPS. As I mentioned, this is a driver volunteer program to offer mobility options for seniors, persons with disabilities, and veterans. Volunteer drivers are trusted friend, neighbor, care provider, or family member who uses their own vehicle to provide transportation. Participants enrolled in the program lives outside of MST's bus service areas. So thank you to Measure Q funding. The program has provided mobility to seniors, persons with disabilities, and veterans as far north of the county in Aromas and as far south of the county in Parkfield. TRIPS was the last created program funded by Measure Q, and in total provided 35,959 trips. Next slide, please. Lastly, then we have the Navigator Volunteer Program. So dedicated volunteers whose passion is to share their valuable time with MST so that the community we serve continues to learn about MST services and mobility programs. Thanks to Measure Q, in the last 10 years, with only a minimum of 10 hours a month, our volunteers dedicated a total of 7,717 volunteer hours. Next slide, please. And this is and completes my presentation. So thank you, Measure Q, for the 10 years of support for seniors, persons with disabilities, and veterans in our community.
And thank you, Christy, for that presentation.
We'll be having a community event in Salinas at the Salinas Mobility Center on May 21st. And you'll have to remind me what day of the week that is.
That would be a Wednesday.
That's a Wednesday, May 21st at 9 a.m. In conjunction with a senior transportation day event that will be occurring directly after our Measure Q event. For those of you who haven't had an opportunity to visit our Salinas Mobility Center in downtown Salinas, it is truly something I think unique that you should take a look at.
Great updates. Really appreciate saying that, but I also would want to extend the thanks to all of the residents in Monterey County.
Absolutely.
Because that, when they pass Measure Q, you really don't know what that result is gonna be. But to see these numbers and the amount of people that have been helped over the years, these last 10 years, shows how vital of a resource that was. And so I'm looking forward to that point where we're going back and showing this is what we got last time, and we ask. I don't know, I can't remember when the due date is on this one.
We have 2 more bites at the apple, 26 and 28, and we'll be coming back to your board with information about when we may place a another Measure Q, an extension of Measure Q on the ballot, or perhaps an extension of Measure Q plus additional funds to support ongoing public transit operations in addition to Measure Q. That's something for further consideration by your board. And we are currently working on, without going too far afield, we're working on some legislation, AB 761, supported by Assemblymember Don Addis, that will allow us to place that on the ballot for consideration in the future.
Oh, awesome. Great to hear. Thank you, Chair.
I probably missed it, but do we know how many volunteer drivers we have?
That would be the TRIPS program. We know how many trips. Do we know how many actual drivers there are, Christy, in that program?
We don't, because
Okay.
our relationship is with the participants.
Okay.
And so it's their responsibility to identify their own volunteer driver, which could be their family friend, a neighbor,
Mhm.
or a friend.
Then let's extend that thanks to them as
Yes,
well.
definitely.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yes, Tony.
Well, I want to thank you, first of all. You know how they say attitude is everything? You're an awesome human being. You're a public servant. No, and let me just continue this because I know you have such an awesome staff. Your volunteers, I mean, we've had them at city council. Talk about being passionate and like to serve the people. And 10 years, I really enjoy, you know, a lot of times when we need the help from others, it's difficult in itself. But to be able to show dignity to the people that need accessibility. I know I spoke to one gentleman. He was having a difficult time with age and how his walking was getting worse, and but he was talking about some of your staff and volunteers that have really helped him out with that. So that's fantastic. So thank you for that.
No, thank you, and you're welcome. And I do want to share that my staff are here with the exception of Ruben. So if you can just stand up, and then we'll extend our thank yous to them as well.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
And should we don't need that to open this up for public comment.
No.
With that, we will go ahead and move on to the next item, which is 5, no public hearings. So we'll move on to 6 on page 61 in your agenda. We will receive an update on Greenfield Line 33 bus stop construction and circulator service implementation.
Thank you, Chair, and just for reference, we do have a number of members of the community here to speak on this measure. We had a request from Board Member Rodriguez from Greenfield to change the action item on the agenda so that it's more than just receive an update, but also to provide direction, if any, to the board regarding these services. I did provide you with letters and signatures from the last time this came to our board in the month of it was in December of 2024.
And Mr. Sedor,
Yes.
You did say we have an interpreter?
We do. So actually, let's get our interpreter so we can start the process. Thank you. And I'll start over.
Okay.
Could you interpret for me? And we'll start slowly. My name is Carl Sidoric. I'm CEO for Monterey Salinas Transit.
Yeah, she's real quiet.
Good.
It's gonna be a minute.
Oh, young lady in the mask.
Yeah, but we're not ready.
We're not doing public comment yet. We're doing interpretation.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay. No worries. This is gonna take a little time because. Okay, my name is Carl Sidoric. I am CEO for the Monterey Salinas Transit District.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Carl Sidoric, soy el CEO de esta compañía de Monterey Salinas Transit.
We have provided to your board letters and the names of people from Greenfield who have expressed concern about this issue.
Nosotros hemos dado documentos a su gente que los representan en Greenfield.
I'll start with a little background information about MST on call.
Yo voy a hablar un poquito de la información y historia del MST On Call.
MST on call services began in Monterey County in the late 1990s.
El servicio de MST On Call empezó en el condado de Monterey en los últimos años de los 90.
The cities of Monterey, Delray Oaks, Seaside, and Marina initially had MST on-call service.
Las ciudades de Monterey, Delray Oaks, Seaside y Monterey tenían este servicio de MST On Call.
In 2010, when the South County cities joined MST, we provided on-call services to the cities of Gonzales, Soledad, Greenfield, and King City.
Can you repeat that one more time?
In 2010, MST began providing on-call services to Gonzales, Soledad, Greenfield, and King City.
En el año 2010, nosotros empezamos este servicio de MST On Call en las ciudades de King City, Soledad, González y Greenfield.
Around 2018, 2019, MST received comments that there were overcrowding, missed trips, and lack of connections to line 23 on MST on call.
En el año 2018 y 2029 hubo muchos malos reportes de que el autobús y servicio de MST On Call no estaban recogiendo a pasajeros y que los estaban dejando atrás.
Try to go shorter with my sentences.
Tony knows. It's a hard job.
Yeah. Community hearings were held in all of the South County cities at that time.
Audiencias tenían audiencias presentes en todas estas ciudades en ese tiempo.
In addition, more meetings were held in 2021 and 2022.
Y había tenían más audiencias en el año 20 y 21.
As a result of from what we were told was the community wanted, more members of the community wanted scheduled bus service that made connections to the line 23.
Cuando nosotros tuvimos esas audiencias, nosotros escuchamos del público que querían más servicio, que podían hacer conexiones con el autobús 23.
To do that, we had to stop MST on call to replace that with scheduled bus service.
Para poder hacer eso, nosotros tuvimos que dejar el MST On Call y crear nuevos servicios con los autobuses chiquitos.
In December 2022, King City stopped MST on call and has scheduled bus service.
En el año 2022, King City fue la primera ciudad que dejamos de ofrecer estos servicios de MST On Call.
In July 2024, Soledad and Gonzales did the same.
En julio del año 2024, las ciudades de Soledad y González también fuimos dejando el servicio del MST On Call.
MST has been working with the City of Greenfield to install bus stops throughout the city of Greenfield.
Nosotros hemos estado trabajando con su ciudad de Greenfield para poder poner más paradas de autobús para poder hacer esto posible.
With the new bus stops, 96% of all the residents of Greenfield will live within a 10-minute walk of an MST bus stop.
Con este nuevo autobús, vamos a tener nuevas paradas que están 10 minutos de donde ustedes viven y en lugares importantes donde ustedes se van a poder conectar.
Today, with MST on call, an average of 70 homes, individual homes, use MST on call in all of the city of Greenfield.
Can you repeat that one more time?
Today, only 70%, I'm sorry, today, only 70 homes in Greenfield use MST on call each month.
Ahorita con el servicio que estamos ofreciendo con el MST on Call in Greenfield, solamente 70 lugares están usando el MST on Call.
By providing scheduled buses in place of MST on call, more people in Greenfield will have access to the bus service.
Con este nuevo servicio que vamos a ofrecer estos van a tener horarios que ustedes van a poder ayudarlos en alcanzar estos autobuses más fácil y van a saber cuándo y dónde van a pasar.
It is important to note that this change does not get rid of MST rides.
Es importante que ustedes sepan que cuando nosotros vamos a quitar el MST on Call, eso no quiere decir que vamos a quitar el programa de rates que ustedes ahorita están usando.
If you have a disability or are too old to walk to the bus stop, MST rides will be there for you.
Si ustedes ahorita no pueden alcanzar el autobús, tenemos un programa de rates que los pueden recoger si tienen problemas caminando o llegando a una parada de autobús.
And Mr. Labar has.
So just your prior statement before that regarding MST rides, but what I heard was MST on call.
Me too.
I didn't hear MST
Oh,
rides.
in the translation?
Yeah,
Okay,
I agree
so
with that too.
what did she say?
Well, you said it was important to note that the elimination of MST on call does not
Stop MST
Eliminate
rides.
rides.
eliminate
Service.
rides.
Yeah.
So,
Services.
so she said services?
Yeah, so he said just because it stopped the drivers doesn't mean that it stopped the service because they're gonna have more stops to provide services to more people.
Okay, well, the fact was, as you said, MST rides, and
Yeah,
all I
yeah.
got was MST on call.
So let's restate.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
That's an important.
MST rides will stay in the community if people can't walk 10 minutes to the bus stop.
There you go.
Los servicios de rates se van a quedar en la ciudad de Greenfield si ustedes no van a quitar el MST on Call.
No,
Right.
See?
No.
Well, if-
So,
please
let me-
give her the professional courtesy, because this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We're not upset.
No, I understand, but if we're gonna keep just looking at every word, I mean, sometimes it's a difference in Spanish.
Right.
And
no, but the name is MST on call is one name, MST rides is the other name.
I understand, but we're gonna confuse.
But this,
Yeah,
no,
so-
but this could be the confusion that we've been having for a long time if in the public. It keeps being referred to as MST on call.
Can I chime in?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think what the interpreter said lastly is correct, because rides translates to rides. And that when that service ends, or when that service is going to continue when on-call ends, which is what she said the last thing that she said.
Okay, so then I
So-
will point out that that's an incorrect translation because we're not translating the word. We're using title, the name. So it should be said as MST rides, because that is the actual, that's the program name, and a lot of translators actually use the program name.
I'd like to make a statement in Spanish just for
Okay.
so that I can say something in Spanish to the residents that are here. Lo que se está discutiendo es que el anuncio es que cuando se termine el servicio de MST Rides, de todos modos, ay, disculpa, ahora yo lo dije mal. Se va a continuar el servicio de MST Rides. Lo que va a parar es on-call. Y la mesa directiva nomás quiere saber que todos están muy claros con eso, que lo que se va a terminar es on-call services, pero lo que continúa después de esto es MST Rides. Y eso es el programa para personas que tienen documentación de doctores para poder seguir agarrando rides. Yo he hablado con muchas personas en la comunidad que saben esa diferencia, pero yo también me quiero asegurar que la mesa directiva sepa que nuestros residentes sí entienden eso, la diferencia de on-call y MST.
Can I reinforce?
Yes.
Solamente para completar, hay dos programas diferentes. Uno se llama MST Rides y otro se llama MST Calls. En MST Calls ustedes llaman para que los lleven al lugar. En MST Rides tiene un servicio que les da. Lo que va a pasar ahora, van a tener una ruta que va a dar vueltas alrededor de Greenfield en diferentes. No, déjeme terminar, permíteme.
Okay, so
El servicio que va a haber ahorita, hay una ruta que va a dar alrededor de Greenfield, pero el programa que se llama MST Rides sigue en pie para las personas que tienen una edad avanzada o están enfermos y no pueden caminar al bus. El director dijo que cada parada de bus está a un periodo de 10 minutos de cada persona, según el estudio que se hizo. Pero si aún así hay personas que no pueden caminar esa distancia, todavía tenemos el programa para que ustedes puedan utilizarlo si lo necesitan. ¿Tiene alguna pregunta, señora? Oh, okay.
If I could just finish off with what I said in Spanish for anybody that doesn't know Spanish on the board was that I have spoken with many residents who I think there's a little bit of a misunderstanding that our residents don't know that there's two different services and that one is ending and one is continuing. Most of the residents I've personally spoken to do understand that difference. So I do want to make that clear for our board of directors.
And our understanding is from our bilingual staff is that they refer to the service as the same thing, small bus, busecito. And they refer to both of them as the same.
So what happened in translation and what she's doing is she doesn't translate the concepts, but the idea.
Right.
Because sometimes it's different. That's why she's not using the title of the service.
Understood.
She's using that. That's why you don't hear the exact title, because she's translating in concepts.
Well, that concludes my report, and I would be happy to, at this point, whatever the next is, whether it's board comments or public comment.
Madam Chair, I have a question for Ariana.
We'll go to board comments and we'll go
Okay.
to Lorraine.
Ariana, do they understand that rides is one that they have to make a reservation for?
Yes.
That's what I want to
And
make sure. too.
so I actually went to 3 of our senior social events where I provided applications for the rides program. And along with other things, the veterans programs, registering your credit card to get discount, things like that, which MST staff graciously provided me with a bunch of materials. So I went and tabled myself out there at events where I could connect one-on-one with residents to get as many people qualified for rides that we could, because this started coming up, several months ago, as you all know. So when that happened, I was trying to make sure that we could increase awareness about the rides program, and that it doesn't necessarily mean that when on-call ends, that people would be left without public transportation. So I've done a lot of community outreach. I've also talked about it in our council meetings extensively. And I've connected with individual members that have expressed concern about this. So there's been a lot of outreach to show that there is that there will be a continuation of some services. And what the process is for that, so reservations and all of that, yeah. And then the taxi voucher program, I do want to address that because as most of my South County sister cities probably know, in our community, unfortunately, that isn't a resource of any value to our community because we have no taxi services in our town, so that can't exactly bridge the gap there when the on-call is gone.
And I can address that at the appropriate time.
Uh, any other directors at this time, comments?
I just want to say gracias.
Oh. You just had to get
De
that.
nada.
De nada. De nada.
And what content are you saying?
Yeah, really. I wanted to thank Ariana and Fernando for their additional assistance, and Tony as well, because you know, if there's to get the word out, because this here is, you know, people from Greenfield are, you know, wondering, you know, are they gonna be stuck without transportation? So I think that it's good that we have the first, thank you for the translator as well, but is there Ariana, do you think that we need to continue with more outreach or assigning people up in the community?
So I think that would be helpful, you know, certainly
If
more
I may, can we
people.
allow the translator, because it's,
Oh.
because whatever we're
Okay.
discussing, I think it's important for them to
Okay.
know what we're talking about.
Ahorita,
Short sentences, please.
All right, let's see, so do you think that we need more outreach to sign up more people down in the Greenfield community?
la directora Mary Ann acaba de decir si necesitamos hacer más eventos en Greenfield para explicar estos servicios que se van a remover y poner.
So I would say, yes, you know, more outreach can't hurt, certainly, like it would be great to have more awareness and more education on the programs that we offer.
Stop, yeah.
La directora Ariana dijo que sí, piensa que es una muy buena idea que nosotros hagamos más eventos explicando lo que va a pasar con el autobús de Greenfield.
However, I do think that even with everyone that can qualify for rides, even if they do that process, I think that still leaves a gap for the rest of our community because a lot of our, thank you.
La directora Ariana dijo que sí piensa que necesitamos hacer más eventos para explicar y ayudar a los residentes que a lo mejor califican para usar el programa de MST Rides.
But it will still, I believe that still leaves a gap.
Pero piense que todavía hay mucha información que no estamos dando.
Many of our riders are also young children, and it's not only our aging population that needs the services, it's our young people too. We have 30% single.
Dice que hay muchos pasajeros que son menor de edad que también necesitan transporte, no son solamente nuestros pasajeros mayores que necesitan esta transporte.
Yeah, 30% of our households are single parent households, and many of those households are using the services for their children.
Dice que 30% de las familias mamás tienen un pariente y ellos son los que aprovechen de nuestros servicios y los usan más.
If I would ask that we go to public comment and allow the public to go ahead, and then we can continue discourse.
Okay, directors, we could carry on any additional comment when we come back after public comment. So discussion. So with that, let's go ahead to public comment.
Buenos días a todos. Y esta es la segunda vez que vengo a esta junta de Monterrey.
She said, good morning. She said, this is the second time I've come to one of the MST board meetings.
Y entiendo todo lo que ustedes están explicando.
And I understand everything that you are explaining.
Rights es Wonderful service. Pero como yo, representante de todos los, hacen las manos todos los que vinieron conmigo, de todos los que vinieron conmigo, you know, son de la tercera edad. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know.
She
get
said that
something.
all the people she brought here today are seniors.
No estamos de acuerdo que nos vayan a poner stop buses.
And she's not okay with the MST on call being taken away and the circulator being put in place.
Porque rights, say rights,
MST rights
es, como les dije, un servicio magnífico.
It's a wonderful service.
Pero él no nos va a levantar. Por ejemplo, si uno de los seniors quieren ir a comprar mandado, ellos van a levantarlos y los van a dejar en la tienda allí.
So MST rides will pick us up and will drop us off at our designated location.
Y no los esperan. Como el AMCO es servicio honorable, magnífico, ellos
And so MST on call, once they get dropped off, they have to wait again to be picked up. When they use the MST on call, it's a very honorable, wonderful, magnificent service.
muchos de los que vinieron ahora están, no andan, inválidos.
Many of the people that came with me today do not have disabilities.
Traje a Pedro, el que está allá parado,
I brought
You know.
Pedro, who's the person standing all the way in the
lo levantamos de donde hacen la diálisis.
He was picked up in front of a dialysis center.
Tengo miedo que se vaya a desmayar,
She's afraid that he might faint.
porque él tiene que comer right away, pero él decidió venir con nosotros.
He needs to eat right away, and instead of going home, he decided to come all the way.
So, les voy a hacer una pregunta a ustedes.
I have a question for you.
¿Por qué nos quieren quitar el AMCO? ¿Qué hicimos nosotros para que nos lo quiten?
Why do you want to take MST on call away from us? What did we do wrong?
Would you like to hang that one?
Yeah.
Okay, the MST Board of Directors directed MST to, let me start
Get all
over.
comments at the end.
Yeah, we can do that. That would be fine.
Yeah.
Let me respond at the end. Let me get all the comments and then I'll explain.
Ahorita no va a comentar porque va a esperar que todo esto y luego va a hacer su comentario.
Okay. So, por favor, miren y consideren, la necesidad, no nomás de mí,
Please consider our need for this service
y de la tercera edad,
and for seniors as well.
no nomás de ellos, es de toda la comunidad de González, de Greenfield, que diga. De Greenfield, los muchachos de la high school también lo usan.
This MST on call is used for everyone in the community and also the high school students use it.
So, yo, por mi parte,
On my part,
estoy de desacuerdo con ustedes, que los van a quitar.
I am very against you removing the MST on call.
So, los dejo con eso.
And that's all that I have.
So can we ask if,
Gracias.
how many people agree with her and how many people have something different to say?
Yeah.
¿Cuál es su nombre?
Señora, ¿cómo se apellida?
Oh, me llamo Argelia Pesenais.
Her name is Argelia Pesenais.
Pesenais.
Okay, ask the question.
Okay. And so, how many people agree?
How many people agree and how many have something different to say? So that we don't, so we don't have the same thing over and over
Yeah,
again.
but we've already got Greenfield residents, they should have a right to.
Okay, that's
Just like anybody else.
absolutely, yes, sir.
Están diciendo que todos tienen el derecho de hablar.
Yeah, I should put the timer on.
We want.
Buenos
try-
días.
You gotta
Yes.
put a timer
The
on.
translation, you get double time.
Double time,
Yeah.
okay, for our folks managing the time, 4 minutes for translated items, comments, thank you.
Buenos días. Mi nombre es María Ramírez.
Good morning. My name is Maria Ramirez.
Soy de la comunidad de Greenfield.
I'm from the Greenfield community.
Escuchando lo que están hablando,
Listening to what you are saying,
estoy de acuerdo en que necesitamos más promoción acerca de este servicio que ustedes están cambiando.
I agree that there should be more outreach events in Greenfield to explain the changes that are going to be happening.
Yo, por mi parte, no estaba enterada de nada de esto.
From my part, I had no idea that all this was going on.
Hasta que la señora Argelia me contó del que ella está en desacuerdo que quieren quitar este servicio que tienen ellos los mayores de edad o con deshabilidades.
I was informed of this happening because the
Argelia.
Argelia was speaking to me and told me what was going to happen.
Vengo a a apoyarlas para que ustedes reconsideren la decisión que están tomando.
I'm here to show support and I'm hoping that you will reconsider.
No estoy muy informada de que es un servicio y otro, pero lo que sí sé
I'm not really too sure what the difference in the services will be, but
hay muchas personas que utilizan este servicio que necesitan ser recogidas desde la puerta de su casa porque no pueden caminar.
there's a lot of residents that need to be picked up by their door when using this service.
Y lo sé porque soy el Uber de muchos de ellos.
And I know this because I'm an Uber driver for a lot of the residents.
Ellos me llaman pidiéndome ayuda cuando no pueden ser levantados por el bus.
They call me when they're not able to be picked up by this service.
Y para llevarlos a sus citas de doctor, a las tiendas, cualquier cosa que ellos necesitan, me llaman pidiendo ayuda.
And they call me to be picked up to be taken to their doctor's appointments, to the store, or when they need help to move around, they call me.
No creo que va a seguir el servicio por lo que estoy entendiendo, pero sí necesitamos un poco más de explicación sobre todo esto, porque si yo no lo entiendo, las personas quizás hay personas mayores más confundidas.
She said she would like to know more information about this because from the beginning, she was misinformed and wasn't aware of the information about having the MST on call removed. She said if she's feeling confused, then she can imagine that the senior residents also feel confused.
Otra cosa, si van a ser paradas para las en todo alrededor de la ciudad, me gustaría también sugerirles que agreguen paradas desde las primeras calles o las últimas que están lejos del centro, como, ok.
She said that if you are gonna remove this service and put bus stops, can you make sure that you also put stops outside from the center of the city and further out?
No, I don't want you guys to remove that service for them. I just want to put more stops, add more bus stops for the other ones, because I know some people live in Pine Road or Pine Street, and it's the last one, and they need to go to the stop to go to Salinas, or their kids or children that they have to come to Salinas for college. And I have a friend that she's always asking me to.
Thank you for your time.
Oh, the time.
Formats.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you for your comment.
¿Alguien más quiere hablar?
Good morning. Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Es que I do dialysis. Okay, I can walk that far for 10 minutes to walk to get a bus stop. If I need to go get my medicine at Friday, or if I have to go to El Rancho to get some food for me, it's pretty difficult for me. And
on call, it's a good service. And I need that service. Since if you're gonna put it 10 minutes away, I'm gonna have to walk 10 minutes, and that's a pretty long walk for me, because I'm disabled. And I'm blind. And I got another question. If we're gonna have rides, they're not gonna be there. They're gonna say, let me see if I can see, let me see what time my driver's gonna pass through there. See if he has enough time or not. So that's not a good thing. We got a good thing going on right now. There's a lot of people use on call in Greenville. And it'll be sad for us, because I'm disabled. There probably later on, there's gonna be more people getting disabled, because there's a lot of people doing dialysis now. And for us to get it, because how far are the bus stops gonna be from the central? How far are they gonna pick us up? Are they gonna drop off? Are they gonna drop us off at the store? Or at the Rite Aid? Or do we have to walk from there with our bags, go to the bus stop to get it? Stuff? So I disagree with you taking off on call. 'Cause we need it. If the people from King City or Soledad did not talk to you guys about it, we're opening up because we need it. Okay, well, have a nice day and thank you for hearing me out.
Thank you for your comment.
¿Alguien más quiere hablar?
Some notes.
I'm gonna start getting some notes down there.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Aurora Martínez.
Good morning, my name is
Aurora Martínez.
Aurora Martinez.
Tengo, desde que empezó el servicio, yo lo uso porque voy a una escuelita toda la semana.
I use this service to go to a school for the entire week.
Me recoge a las 7:30 y en la tarde a las 3 y pues yo no,
This service picks me up at 7 in the morning and drops me off back home at 3 p.m.
y pues se me hace retirado para caminar y estoy muy a gusto con ese servicio. Yo no quisiera.
She likes this service because she doesn't have to walk far to catch the bus.
Se los agradecería a todo el personal que están escuchándome que no lo quiten el servicio.
I would appreciate if the board members would listen to me and not remove this service.
Y pues, aparte, hay también mamás que llevan sus niños, ocupan el servicio porque llevan sus niños a la escuela y también los van a recoger. No, nomás yo.
So there are a lot of parents that use this service to take their kids to school and to also pick them up from school.
Pues sí es todo lo que les quiero decir a todos, que nos escuchen.
This is all I have to say, and I just wish that you could just hear us out.
Porque yo ya había ido al concilio y junté más de 100 firmas hace 2 meses, como 2 meses.
I have been gathering a lot of signatures for about 2 months.
La supervisora de allí donde trabajo, ella me firmó la hoja y las maestras de allí también.
My supervisor signed this and so have other teachers.
Es todo y les pido de favor que se les hablan de su corazón, no lo dejen. El servicio como está.
She said, I hope that you guys can look into our hearts and listen and try not to remove the service for us.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Mercy.
Like the Monterey Blessed, yeah. The Monday morning sneeze.
Buenos días,
Good morning.
audiencia. Quería pedirles el favor
I want to ask you this favor.
que no nos quiten el servicio,
Please don't remove this service
porque nos va a hacer falta como a mí, como yo. mi esposa,
Because this service is gonna be missed by me, my wife.
es lo que podemos nosotros hacer para agarrar algo del viento y el sol y al mandado a la tienda. Usamos el servicio que nos brindan ustedes del
So depending on the weather, if it's sunny or windy, we'd like to use this service to run our errands.
del que ya tenemos, y yo les pediría por favor, pues que no nos lo muevan, por favor,
Please don't remove this service.
se los agradecería
I would be very thankful.
ante la vista de Dios y de sus manos de ustedes, su pensamiento,
With God as my witness and you, please,
porque a esta edad
at this age,
de 86 años
I'm 86 years old.
que anduve yo trabajando desde Guasumbil hasta Sonora. Y ahora, ¿cómo me encuentro? Este servicio
He uses this service to move around and he's able to get to Watsonville.
Este servicio nos sirve mucho a nosotros.
The
que
service
apenas
is very
podemos
helpful.
dar unos pasos y nos llevan ahí local a la marquetita, a la farmacia,
This service takes us to the supermarket and to the pharmacy
y al doctor local allí.
and to the doctor's offices locally.
Si vamos a ver a un familiar que también estamos ya, el familiar está igual que nosotros, también.
If we have a family member that is of similar age, we are able to visit them.
También vamos a visitarlo, a ver cómo se encuentran, ¿verdad?
To see how they're doing.
Yo diría, tómenlo en cuenta,
I would
porque como,
ask that you think about it.
porque como dice hay ese dicho que dice, como me ves, te verás, y ahí es donde está el problema.
There's a saying that says, how you see me is how I'll see you.
A cómo estamos, a cómo yo me encuentro y mis compañeros, algunos de ellos también están sufriendo.
Some of my people that I came with here today are going to be suffering if the service is removed.
Se los agradecería mucho y un abrazo para todos antemano.
I would be very thankful and I want to give a big hug to everyone.
Y que Dios los bendiga.
To God bless you.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Carolina Bernil, and I would really appreciate the service because I use it to get buy my groceries, even though I put them here and stuff. But if I have to go to the areas to stop, if it's raining, my scooter can't go in the rain. You know, it's hard, and then it's easier, you know, on the MST ride. Well, those people, they're not always on time, to be honest with you. And you know, cause I use that service too. But the on-call, I use to go grocery shopping, to doctor and all that stuff. And it's easier for me because I don't have to go in the rain or whatever, because my my battery's charged and it won't get wet. And, you know, I just say that I need it and we all need it. Everybody does. I mean, I know you say 70%, but you know, maybe the other 30 need it more or whatever, but we're here to say we need it. And to keep that on mind and in your decision, you know. And that's all I could say. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm wide door coming through and thank you.
Buenas tardes,
Good afternoon.
yo soy Elvira Mora Valdés de Greenfield. Elvira Mora,
My name is Elvira Mora.
Elvira Mora. Pues yo también estoy de acuerdo con todos en que si se puede quedar como estaba el VAS, porque
I agree with the people that I came with today that I think the MST on call should stay.
yo también lo necesité y a veces uno tiene que pasar por algo para reconocer y valorar a las personas que lo necesitan.
So she said that you have to have an experience of something happening where it causes you to use the service that you really appreciate it.
Yo me operaron de mis rodillas y no tenía quien me llevara y entonces
I had knee surgery and I didn't have anyone to take me to the doctor.
entonces llamaba el bus y el señor muy amable me llevaba y me traía y pues le agradezco mucho.
The driver would take me and pick me up and I was very thankful for him.
Entonces valoré lo que la gente grande necesita ahorita, más grande que yo.
So, repeat that, brother?
Entonces valoré que ahora comprendo las personas que lo necesitan más que yo.
I understand why people who are worse off than I am could use this service.
Yo sirvo en la iglesia católica y veo muchas personas que no pueden caminar.
I work at a Catholic church and I see a lot of people at my church who have disabilities.
Y el basecito lo lleva hasta la puerta y ahí nos las deja y nosotros lo recibimos.
The bus takes them all the way to the door, drops them off, and we happily receive them and the bus comes back to pick them up.
Los metemos para adentro y después el del basecito va otra vez a recogerlos y es muy amable, los lleva hasta arriba del basecito.
The driver's very nice and he helps take the passengers all the way to the top.
Por eso pues yo les agradecería que si se puede que se quedara como está.
I would appreciate if the MST on call could stay.
Y pues muchas gracias, les doy las gracias a todos, que Dios los bendiga y que Dios les ilumine su mente, su corazón y que no hay que esperar
She said, thank you. She said, God bless you.
que hay que comprender a las personas que un día vamos a estar, a lo mejor también lo vamos a necesitar.
She said, we have to be understanding of people who may one day still need to use the service.
Muchas gracias, que Dios los bendiga.
Thank you. God bless you.
Public comment is still open.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Teresa González.
Good morning. My name is Teresa Gonzalez.
Yo lo único que les pido es que nos dejen el servicio.
The thing that I ask is for you to please leave this service.
Porque yo vivo muy lejos fuera de la ciudad y yo lo necesito mucho.
I live far away from the city and this service helps me a lot.
Eso es todo. Gracias.
That is all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Christopher,
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Greetings. So far right now, I could tell in South County is more like disadvantaged right now. And so far, and basically, I remember the on-call in Marina. I know who was there who basically decided to cancel it, and I could point at people right now, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm not one of those people. Keep the on-call, and maybe you guys should expand it because as I talked to Lisa when she went down to Los Angeles for that like trip, I told her, try the transit app. And you press a button, and guess what? You got an on-call bus going through the app. What time and age can we not do that out here? Basically, when I went down south for a while too, I tried to do the same thing. It worked. Got me to where I have to go. It was an on-call service, also under the app, on the transit app. Shouldn't we be expanding the on-call service right now, especially in the South County and also in Marina too? Because I've been hearing nothing but complaints of MST not having the on-call service from Marina all the way to the city. So can we expand it, especially with the insider that I heard that we have more vans like those the ADA vans when it comes to picking people up on the on-call service? I have an insider for that. You think one of the drivers were telling me. So shouldn't we just have like a mini bus system too that basically goes out every 5 minutes if they have a call to go pick someone up to bring them to the main transit station or to the stop for a connection? I suggest we do that because we're all lagging behind. We're all falling behind. So why don't we do that? Can we do that? Yes, we should. So keep the on-call service and expand it. And also in South County, keep the rider service, expand it, and also with the regular fixed routes, you guys should expand them because I've been hearing nothing but complaints in a new but better bus network. It's good transferability, I'll give it that. But when it comes to late hours and service, it's been going down a little bit. So let's bring that back up a little bit, why don't we? I already can see who's probably gonna say yes or no to this, because Dad told me politics. So, and I'm pretty sure everyone who votes, we can know who to point to at this point in time. So I suggest we keep the on-call service and we also expand the on-call service. And we go from right there and give South County more options. Thank you.
And did we get your name for the record?
Christopher Ian Gonzalez Wilmot. My dad was the former Monterey County Economic Commissioner, also the former mayor of Marina, who's now deceased.
Thank
Sorry.
you. Public comment is still open. Is there anyone more in the conference room or via Zoom online?
I think you don't.
No? Okay.
There's no one.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. And will you thank everyone for their comments? Thank you.
And she's already seen.
She can't speak
He's already
again.
had.
Okay.
Can't speak again.
Okay.
Ya no puedo hablar.
At this time, public comment is closed.
Ya tienen hambre.
She said, okay, next time.
With that, there were some written comments. I believe on page 109, there was a letter from Chris Lopez too. I'll just bring that up. And there was, on your DS, there was some written comments if you've had a chance to look those over. So public comment is closed. I did want to mention that. So at this time, we'll come back to the directors for further discussion, comments, and or direction. So, further comments at this time?
I thought I was gonna respond to some of.
Oh, and
Is that
yes.
what you'd like me to do?
Yes,
Okay.
I have been taking some notes, but you have as well?
Oh, yeah, I have.
Okay,
So
thank you.
I've
And if we could have the interpreter to yeah,
sure.
short sentence.
I'm trying to come up with short sentences. Could do it haiku, I would. Thank you. Residents of Marina, for residents of Greenfield for being here.
Gracias los residentes de Greenfield por venir aquí hoy.
MST has had 12 public meetings, both in Greenfield, both in Greenfield, online, and here in this building.
MST ha conducido 12 juntas con la ciudad de Greenfield en persona, en línea.
In 2022, this board directed staff to end MST on call and keep MST rides.
Los directivos de what was the year again?
2022.
En el año 2022, estos directivos tuvieron acuerdo de quitar los servicios de MST on call, pero que todavía se quede el servicio de MST rides.
We have worked with the city of Greenfield
Nosotros hemos trabajado con la ciudad de Greenfield
to put bus stops in locations where MST on-call riders go.
MST ha trabajado con la ciudad de Greenfield para poner las paradas de autobús a donde están las paradas ahorita del MST on call.
Today, less than half of the residents of Greenfield can walk to a bus stop in under 10 minutes.
Hoy, menos de la población de Greenfield pueden caminar a una parada de autobús que está a menos de 10 minutos.
When the circulator bus starts, 96% of the residents will walk to a bus stop in less than 10 minutes.
Cuando empieza el nuevo autobús circulador de Greenfield, 96% de las personas van a poder caminar a una parada que está a menos de 10 minutos.
MST Rides is not going away.
El programa de MST Rides no lo van a quitar.
MST Rides arrives on time 90% of the time.
El programa de MST Rides llega 90% a tiempo. Tenemos 90% que llega a tiempo para recoger a los pasajeros.
Regular MST buses arrive on time 90% of the time.
Los autobuses regularmente que pasan, los autobuses grandes, llegan 90% del tiempo a tiempo.
To most of the speakers today, looked to me like they would qualify for MST rides.
Todos los que vinieron a hablar hoy, a mí me parece que pueden calificar para el programa de MST Rides.
We have put bus stops close to the schools.
Hemos puesto nuevas paradas cerca de las escuelas.
I would also encourage residents to look to the school district for bus service.
Piensa que deben de ir con las escuelas para dirigir y recomendar dónde pueden poner nuevas paradas de autobús.
MST does not have the resources to do both on-call and fixed route circulators in the cities.
MST no puede tener los dos servicios de MST on call y el MST circulador que van a poner.
We have not had complaints from Soledad, King City, or Gonzales about stopping MST on call.
No hemos tenido malos reportes de la ciudad de Soledad, la ciudad de González o la ciudad de King City, porque ahí tenemos los circuladores.
MST is working with TAMC
MST está trabajando con la agencia TAMC
to provide Uber-like service to all of Monterey County cities.
están trabajando con la agencia TAMSI para poder dar servicios como Uber para todas las ciudades del condado de Monterey.
We won't know until this summer.
Nos,
I'm sorry, we won't know until June whether TAMC will provide that funding.
no sabemos hasta el junio si va a ser posible ese proyecto.
In the meantime,
Mientras,
MST will no longer have a contract
MST ya no va a tener un contrato
with a company to provide on-call service.
con una compañía que puede dar servicios de MST on call.
MST has already hired drivers
MST ya ha agarrado choferes
who are in training today
que están entrenando hoy
to provide the circulator service.
para poder dar el servicio del circulador.
MST staff does not have the ability to continue providing on-call service.
MST ahorita no tiene la posibilidad de seguir con los servicios que está ofreciendo con el MST on call.
We will continue to provide MST rides.
Nosotros vamos a seguir dando servicio con el MST Rides.
We hope to provide more service this summer with more money from TAMC.
Esperamos dar más servicio con el dinero que esperamos recibir de TAMC.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Those are my notes. If there were some other questions you have. Board.
I have a clarifying question, I guess. So the response when I've asked about continuation of services has been that because it's been the board's direction previously to end those services, that's why we're doing this now, right? Because that's been voted by the board and the board's direction is what staff follows.
So, ahorita la directiva Ariana está preguntando que sí sabe que estos directivos ya habían planeado para quitar el servicio de MST on call.
But my question was, or the reason I wanted to get it in front of the board again was, my comment was that I understand that that decision was made years ago by somewhat of a different board. So now that
Entiendo que esa decisión fue hecha por otra directiva, directores.
for reconsideration, because I'm new to my council as well, and now I'm responding to the feedback that I'm getting from my community. So that's why I asked for reconsideration, see what we can do.
Can you repeat that?
So I asked to bring this to our current board for reconsideration to see what we can do, because I'm responding to the request from my community.
So, traje el problema de esta situación otra vez con los directores para ver si podemos hacer algo, porque la gente de mi ciudad está preguntando si yo puedo hacer algo por ellos.
But what I'm hearing today is that there is no option. It doesn't matter if it would be that it's not about basically a board decision at this point. It's that's not an option.
The staff, the staff responds to the board. I do not see a path as staff to do this. I don't. How do I say this? I have followed the board's direction, and I'm beyond the point of no return. I can't, I don't know how to provide what you want. Other than if the city of Greenfield wants to purchase its own transportation, taxi services, Uber for your community, you could certainly do that, but MST does not have the resources or the contracts in place today to make that happen.
Chair, can I ask the?
Yeah, let's go to Bruce and then we'll, come back to you.
Yeah, and then this side too.
And then, let me write these down. So Bruce,
Yeah, it's my understanding that part of the point of no return is that many people have been hired for the new service and would have to be fired. And maybe there's been a bunch of buses purchased also, but I don't know. Can you review why it's past the point of return?
You gotta let her translate.
Su pregunta del director Bruce es que si él entiende que si cancelan el circulador, eso quiere decir que van a tener que dejar ir a muchos de los choferes que agarraron para poder hacer este servicio.
Why is, I'm sorry, I'm getting multiple impacts.
Have people been hired and buses purchased?
People have been hired. Buses are purchased for this service, and the people that are hired, the drivers of the small buses is a separate job than the drivers of the big buses. We have hired people to drive the small buses.
Can I explain in
Yeah.
Spanish?
Certainly.
She might be confused, translator might be confused about certain things that we only know.
Okay.
Yes, so voy a explicar la situación. Para todas las personas de Greenfield, la decisión que se tomó en crear la ruta y eliminar este servicio se hizo en el año 2022. Se ha estado trabajando con la mesa directiva del concilio de Greenfield y otras personas para ver cuál sería la mejor solución. A este punto, debido a todas las decisiones que se tomaron durante estos últimos años, a este punto, MST ha creado un plan en el que ha establecido las rutas, servicios de rutas en Greenfield, en González, Soledad y Greenfield. Nosotros en Soledad ya tenemos esa ruta. Todas las decisiones que se tomaron antes de que yo estuviera en la mesa directiva. Entonces, lo que ahora se estableció hace años, debido a este programa de rutas, se han contratado a personas que van a manejar o que van a ser los choferes de esas rutas y ya no tienen fondos para continuar con el on-call que se había decidido separar. Entonces, lo que ahora nos queda solamente es la ruta o el servicio de MST Rights. No es una decisión que vayamos a tomar ahorita, es una decisión que se tomó hace 2 años para cambiar el servicio, ¿verdad? Entonces, el director del programa no puede hacer cambios porque tendría que buscar fondos que no hay ahorita. Él explicó al principio que TAMSI, que es la agencia de transporte en el condado de Monterrey, podría darle fondos.
We can't do this. I'm sorry. We need to go through our
Okay.
translator.
Yes,
So
I'm just,
because this conversation is not between the board at this time.
Okay.
But
So
there are several things that she missed because she's not aware of the things that are
no, I
happening.
understand that,
But we-
but at the same time, the conversation needs to be between board members and the translator to the public. And so when I don't like when it's one board member speaking with the public, not saying you're doing anything wrong, but that's improper.
Okay, so just so you know, I have more than 10 years translating and interpreting, so I'm a professional.
I'm not saying that you're not. I'm just saying the conversation is between board members. And we're board members. And you.
But a
turn the
few minutes
convers-
ago, you were questioning the translator.
Yeah, because that's.
Law manager, we just get.
Yeah.
If I may, Ms. Pamela Aquino, who's in front of us, she's an MST employee, and I wanna say thank you, that you should get paid extra for. So, you know what, this is not easy, and I apologize. You're doing a great job, but within the board here, I think we just need to go on with, I hate to correct people in public, I really do, you know, I think that's a disservice, but that's why we need to hire, somebody that's, I'm not gonna say somebody that's an interpreter, what I'm saying, but Pamela, you know, thank you for doing what you're doing, and I know it's difficult.
Thank
Can we give her a round of applause, please?
So
go back to this.
continuing,
Yes.
I don't think Fernando mentioned the permitting, the licenses, or the buses that have been purchased, but my question was, what has happened that would have to be undone? Buses, permits, staff hiring.
We've installed. We're in the process of installing 11 bus stops in the city. We've started a contract. The work is ongoing. We are building the bus stops.
Oh, we don't have services.
She's back there.
Do you want this to
No,
be translated?
We're gonna, let's talk, here.
Oh, I'm
first.
sorry, let me clarify. We do need the translator. We have our conversations against board members, we have to speak in smaller sentences.
Okay,
That was my only thing, we use our proper protocols.
Right.
We speak, she translates.
so my question is, what has to be undone and able to enable us to continue on call?
¿Qué se puede hacer para cambiar los planes de quitar el MST on call?
I think
Well,
that's-
now it's his turn to answer.
Well, that isn't the request, is what I wanted to
That's my
clarify.
question to him, because that's part of the reason why we can't do it. He's saying we're beyond the point of no return. I'm asking why specifically.
We would need to rebid our contractor services, because our new contract does not include on-call services.
Si queremos dejar el servicio de MST Call, queremos hacer otro proceso para ver si podemos ganar otra compañía que pueda quedarse para hacer el servicio de MST On Call.
We have drivers in training that would no longer have jobs when they come out of training.
Tenemos choferes que ahorita están entrenando y si seguimos con el MST On Call, ellos van a perder su trabajo.
New buses
They're existing buses.
in by the stores, by the pharmacy,
Uh,
by the doctor.
No, we can't.
We're talking amongst the public comment is over.
You guys have those buses
Public
out
comment is
there in the
closed.
stores.
Public comment is closed. Where were we here?
Have buses been purchased?
We purchase buses ongoing. Yes, there are buses purchased.
Sí, hemos comprado autobuses.
Thank you.
Very common.
Gracias.
Well, there's a list you got.
Yeah,
don't know.
okay, so, I will put you down here. Next, comment is Ed. Smith.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to clarify what we're doing today, because what we're doing is we are looking at agenda item 6.1, and we're receiving an update about Greenfield line 33.
Mamás, quiero clarificar que todos estamos en la misma página de lo que va a pasar con el autobús de Greenfield.
Okay, and then based on new input from the Greenfield MST board members,
Con la información que dio a la directora Ariana,
we are considering other options
estamos considerando otras opciones.
So let me speak to what I remember about the change in 2022 and why I was in support of that change.
Deja, yo digo mi opinión del cambio que nosotros estuvimos de acuerdo en el 2022, porque decidimos cancelar el MST on call.
The way I see the decision back from 2022 was we wanted to increase a circular route and modify and upgrade bus stops in Greenfield.
Nosotros llegamos a esa conclusión porque nosotros queríamos modificar las rutas y poner más paradas de autobús.
The information that's been provided to the board from our executive director shows that once those 11 bus stops have been completed,
La información que nos dio el director ejecutivo enseña que esas nuevas 11 paradas que van a poner,
the service will actually enhance putting bus stops closer to where people are.
esas paradas van a estar más cercanas a donde está la gente.
And hopefully it's reducing the distance of walking to those established routes.
Esperamos que estas nuevas paradas están más cortas de las otras paradas que tenemos.
And having both the rides and on-call was extremely costly and a duplication in some places.
Teniendo el programa de MST Rides y el MST On Call, era como ofreciendo el mismo servicio.
It looks to me that if people are understanding how to use the rides,
Si las personas están intentando de usar el programa de MST Rides,
coupled with the knowledge of where the bus stops are located,
sabiendo dónde están las paradas del autobús,
there isn't a loss in service. There's actually better service for Greenfield.
no, por dónde están las paradas no hay una pérdida de servicio, al contrario, ofrecemos más servicio con las nuevas paradas.
And for that, I don't have a question, but I just wanted to establish from where we were in 2022 and all of the work that's been done to get us to today.
Yo nomás quiero recordar la información porque nosotros llegamos a esa conclusión en el año 2022.
As a board member, I'm interested in serving the community of Greenfield, but also to be concerned with the economics. We have to make choices and to provide as many of the bus services as we can.
Como miembro de este grupo, tenemos que pensar en ofrecer más servicios, pero también tenemos que pensar cuánto nos va a costar para ofrecer estos servicios.
Hoping that the rides program will become easier for people to use, knowing that it can provide a very similar service.
Nosotros esperamos que el programa de MST Ride les pueda ofrecer el mismo servicio que están agarrando ahorita.
Chair, I think that's all the comment I have.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your comment. Mike, you were not on the list. We'll go over to Luis.
Yes, I agree with what Ed said on the fixed routes. I agree with that. The question, Carl, has to do with the community concerns that comparing services, on-call versus rides. They said they seem to think that it's not as good of a service that,
La gente que vino a hablar aquí pensó que el programa de MST Rides no está tan bueno como el servicio que les ofrece el MST On Call.
For example, that MST on call would take them to the store and wait for them, whereas MST rides wouldn't do the same.
Por ejemplo, el MST On Call los llevará al lugar donde quieren y los esperaría, pero con el programa de MST Rides, cuando los dejan, se tendrían que esperar hasta que los vaya a recoger.
So can you address that? Can MST rides do the same that On-Call was doing for them to alleviate their concerns?
I would have to defer to Kevin. Sorry, Kevin. Kevin manages the program.
Can the question be translated?
Yeah.
Can you translate the question?
Le preguntaron si puede. What was the question?
What is the difference between MST On Call and MST Rides?
¿Cuál es la diferencia entre MST Rides y MST On Call? Y el gerente Carl dijo que quiere pasar esa pregunta al supervisor Kevin.
Right, my name is Kevin Allshouse, Contract Services Manager for MST.
Soy el supervisor de los contratos de MST.
What I will say is I think the reason why on-call is perceived
La razón que pienso que MST On Call
as more reliable is because it's a same-day service and they can call that morning, request a ride, and use the service.
El MST On Call es un servicio que ofrece el servicio el mismo día y pueden hacer recogidos el mismo día, llevar a donde quieran el mismo día.
With MST rides, as we know, you have to call the day ahead to schedule your ride.
Con el programa de MST Rides tienen que llamar 24 horas para poder reservar su ride con MST Rides.
So from a user experience, it might feel more easy to use on call versus MST rides.
Piensan que el servicio de MST On Call es preferido al servicio de MST On Rides.
However, every trip that is booked on rides, we have to accept as part of the program.
Cada reservación que se hace con el programa de MST Rides lo tienen que aceptar como una reservación para ese programa.
And as Carl mentioned, on-time performance is equal or on par with fixed route.
El tiempo de el MST On Rides que llega está a tiempo 90% como igual el MST On Call que también llega igual al tiempo.
But will rides wait for them like On-Call did previously?
Rides will not wait for them now. Yeah. Yeah, so rides, the trips are, booked out days, sometimes the day or many days ahead.
En el programa de MST Rides, las reservaciones a veces están hechas más de 24 horas adelantados.
So once a trip is completed, the driver has to go to the next trip.
Cuando se complete un viaje con el MST On Rides, luego tiene que seguir haciendo otro.
However, people can book trips in a way where they don't have to wait a long time at their destination.
También se puede hacer reservaciones en la manera que no tienen que esperar tanto rato para ser recogidos.
So would they have to then plan two trips? Like, I'm gonna go to the grocery store. You're gonna pick me up, a trip back, pick me up in half an hour to return me home.
Correct. So it does take some thought. You have to think about how long you think you're going to be at your destination.
Cuando hacen su reservación, tienen que pensar en qué tanto se va a tomar cuando ustedes hacen su viaje y luego planear cuánto se van a tardar para que les pueda venir a recoger.
And then, so you have to book your return trip sort of with that knowledge, thinking about how long it's going to take.
Tienen que hacer sus reservaciones pensando cuánto tiempo se van a tardar haciendo su viaje y en cuánto tiempo quieren que pase para que los puedan ir a recoger.
But in the end, rides is a very reliable service.
Pero el programa de MST Rides es un servicio muy bueno, muy Confiable.
Mhm. So yeah, it's a very reliable service. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's move on to.
Carl, so just to respond to that, so my concern is, have we been doing outreach on that point? It's a scheduling change for individuals who rely on this,
Right.
but are they being told the service will be the same, but they need to be able to book 2 trips, the return, the trip there and the trip back back home?
If they are not, they will be.
Well, I think that's where we're not doing a good job.
Okay.
Because that was one of the main concerns for the disabled and elderly who depend on that service.
And I know, David, if you don't mind, I just want a clarification on what you just asked. So that question would be, to Kevin, you mentioned MST on call will wait for you, but that didn't seem correct. Kevin?
Sorry about that.
Right, and then I'll have to translate. So to follow up, you said MST on call will wait for the person, but that doesn't seem correct.
Well, I mean, that's, yeah, I mean, that. I think people's experience with the service is gonna vary. I think it's possible that, you know, if a on-call driver doesn't have a busy schedule, they might wait.
All right.
It's not a guaranteed.
On-call would wait for them.
Yeah.
And MST rights wouldn't do the same, which he
Okay.
said was true, it was accurate.
Right. And I'd say that MST on call can wait for them, but it's not a guarantee. If he has another call to go to on MST on call, they may have to take the other call. It's not a guaranteed wait at today with MST on call. And
Yeah, exactly.
we have complaints. Do we need to translate that?
Yeah.
MST on call is not a guaranteed wait.
El servicio de MST on call no es una garantía que el autobús los va a esperar cuando los deje en su viaje.
MST rides is a guaranteed pickup by law.
El programa de MST Rights, por la ley, sí tiene que esperarse para poder recogerlos.
MST on call is not required to pick up if it's too busy. We can cancel an MST on call trip. We cannot cancel an MST rides trip by law.
MST on call puede ser un servicio que puede cancelar una reservación, pero el programa de MST Rights, ya cuando hagan una reservación con ellos, por ley no pueden cancelar la reservación que hicieron con ellos.
And just a quick clarification regarding on-call. So that, you know, that trip booked to the grocery store, they would have to have booked the trip there and the trip back on call as well. So it's not like on call is a taxi service where they just wait for you and then you come back on. So yeah, you would have had to have booked both legs of that trip on call as well.
Con el servicio de MST on call, cuando hacen la reservación que los dejen y los recogen, tenían que hacer la reservación ese mismo día para que el autobús los esperara para recogerlos después de que los mandaban.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Tony. Tony, did you have a comment?
I'm sorry, I'm looking forward to hearing this.
Okay.
Just-
Mr. Pacheco?
Just some simple questions. As I hear what we're talking about, this is just a report for information. It is not for a vote of the board at this time.
Lo que está escuchando el director David está preguntando si nomás están refiriéndose a lo que ya estuvieron de acuerdo y no van a hacer cambios.
As corrected on the agenda on Friday,
Hicieron una corrección en la agenda el viernes.
the board has the ability to provide different direction to staff.
Okay. Then
Los miembros de esta junta tienen el poder para cambiar la decisión.
or not.
O sí, no, o quedarse con la misma respuesta que ya tienen.
First of all, I admire residents of Greenfield to stand up and say what they feel is important. I think that's a huge recognition for and admire people that stand up.
Go ahead, stop.
El director
I did. I
David dijo
followed
que
your
la
eyesight. I just thought, I felt.
los residentes de Greenfield que vinieron a decir su opinión.
If we were to change to be fair and equitable, we would have to open the door for the other cities. Is that correct?
That's what I was wondering too.
That would certainly be something for your board to discuss amongst yourselves.
Yep, that's exactly what I was.
Yeah, that is reasonable.
El director David preguntó si hacen cambios para la ciudad de Greenfield para que se quede servicio. También tienen que ofrecer lo mismo a las otras ciudades de Soledad, González y King City.
Quick thought would be to do nothing less
Would
not be fair.
Would not be equitable.
Or not be equitable, and they would come back, other cities might come back with 10, 20, 30 more, and your hand would be forced.
Let her finish.
Yeah.
Si no somos parejo con esta sugestión, entonces vamos a tener las otras ciudades que también van a tener más personas para que les demos el mismo servicio.
My question is there anything that we can, let's use the word tweak, the MST rides program to enhance services where there can be a win-win or almost win-win situation that would enhance services without breaking the bank?
Su pregunta es si podemos hacer el servicio de MST Rides mejor sin subir el costo.
My hope is with the TAMC,
Mi esperanza con la agencia TAMC,
Local Access for All Grant,
un dinero que nos da el gobierno que se llama, what is it called?
Local Access for All,
Se llama Local Access for All.
that we will be able to provide more service to all communities.
Si ganamos ese dinero, a lo mejor podemos ofrecer más servicio a todas las comunidades.
But that is not a that is not a sure thing.
Eso no es algo que pueden asegurar que va a pasar.
My last question, and is there a ballpark dollar amount, be it for Greenfield or a combination of other cities, just so all of us know the potential impact, I guess?
Under the last contract to provide this service,
El último contrato que tenemos para ofrecer este servicio
would cost in excess of $250,000 per year.
costará $250 millones al año.
No,
$250,000 al año
For the city of Greenfield.
por la ciudad de Greenfield.
The last contract that we bid
El último contrato que dejamos que las compañías compitieran por
was higher in cost for MST rides
costaba más dinero para el programa de MST Ride.
So I would expect
Yo pienso
MST on call to increase as well.
que el costo del servicio de MST on call también va a subir.
Is it fair to say $250,000 for Greenfield? So if you did all the cities, that you're talking $1 million. Is that a fair?
Multiple millions of dollars.
A lot more population everywhere.
Right. I personally think if you do one for all, equability is fair. My only last question is there anything that we can do that costs some dollars for information and education to expand that role? So that way, even if it costs us a few dollars.
Can you repeat that?
Is there anything we can do to improve information that doesn't cost much?
¿Hay algo que nosotros podemos hacer para poder darles más información sin subir el costo?
Yes,
Sí,
and we did that for King City
hicimos eso por la ciudad de
Gonzales
King City, González
and Soledad,
y Soledad.
and we have not had any complaints from those cities
Y no hemos tenido malos reportes de estas ciudades.
and have seen overall Gonzales and Soledad ridership increase.
Hemos visto que en la ciudad de González y Soledad ha subido la gente que han usado en estos servicios.
Yeah, so MST staff will be in Greenfield working with the community so they understand, just like we did in King City, Soledad and Gonzales. We have a plan that has worked. We'll do the same, if not more now, especially with MST rides.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, MST has a plan that has worked informing the communities.
MST tiene un plan para dar más información
Of Gonzales, Soledad, and King City.
en González, Soledad y González.
We will do that and more in Greenfield.
Vamos a hacer eso, dar más información como hicimos en esas ciudades, pero vamos a hacer lo mismo con la ciudad de Greenfield.
Let's go, thank you. Let's go to Tony and then we'll go to Ariana.
Tony doesn't have anything. It looks
Tony,
like.
do you have anything?
No, man.
No? Nothing?
It's on your eyes.
Oh,
I like to hear this.
I kind of clarified this before, but I do just want to make sure that I go back to that the request was never to undo all of the work for the circulars or stop that work or not put those into place. Like that's, you know, not at all what's ever been on the table or a request or anything like that. But what has been or what is been requested by you know, County Supervisor Lopez and our mayor, as you guys recall in a previous agenda, there were letters from our mayor as well and our public works director requesting that the on-call services continue. So it was for those two to work in tandem with each other. I realize I didn't stop though. Hope that was too much.
It was.
So I understand that, or what the request from our residents is not to stop the work on the circulars or anything having to do with stopping the progress that's been made.
Dice que lo que sus residentes le han dicho no era para parar el progreso del circulador, pero
For the on-call services to continue to work, for them to supplement each other.
para que se quedara también el servicio de MST on call para que esos dos autobuses se ayudaran en dar servicio.
So I understand that there's money involved, right? That's important, and those numbers are the first time that I hear that, and that's important information for us and for our residents.
Entiendo que está, eso quiere decir que hay mucho dinero involucrado,
So that's important for the board to know, to hear the numbers as
Y-
well as our residents.
Y eso es importante para que los miembros y los residentes de Greenfield aquí escuchen, para que sepan el costo de si se va a quedar el servicio de MST On Call.
So I guess, I hear all of the conversations also about there's cost and then also about equity and about all the South County cities. And often we are treated as, you know, a monolith, all of us, like, but we do have our differences. And I'm happy to hear that the residents of Soledad and King City and Gonzales didn't have the same concerns that the residents in Greenfield are expressing, but I can only speak for the residents of Greenfield and what they're saying that they need. And there is a difference between equality and equity. And, you know, oh. I'm sorry.
Can you summarize?
Is there anyone still here needing translation? It appears we've lost you. Oh, okay.
I'm forgetting what I said myself.
Equity versus equality. Power to the people.
That there is a difference between, that not all South County cities are the same and
Okay.
have different needs, and I'm speaking for the residents of Greenfield specifically.
Que todas las ciudades de South County tienen sus diferencias, pero ella está hablando específicamente de su ciudad de Greenfield.
And that there's a difference between equity and equality.
Y hay una diferencia en la igualdad y equidad.
So, you know, this is difficult for me too, because it's not like I want to say we're just the exception in the whole county, but I would be doing my city a disservice if I wasn't amplifying the voice of what my residents our residents are saying that they need.
No le estoy haciendo buen servicio a la gente de mi ciudad, sino también, si no hablo de los problemas que ellos ven con quitando el servicio.
So I would, you know, you are the experts, the staff at MST. I guess the direction that I'm looking for is asking for how we can partner to kind of mitigate this with education, if we can extend on call. Well, stop there.
Está preguntando si hay algo que pueden hacer, algo para a lo mejor que se quede el servicio de MST On Call.
I understand the business side of it and the expense, but if there's something that we can do, we're also in the business of people, not just the bottom line. And so if we can find a way to address the concerns.
Entendemos que. Can you repeat that?
I'm sorry, I'm forgetting my own train of thought as soon as I say it. So I'm asking for MST, for staff to work with us, with our city, to see what we can do to help alleviate the problem or help bridge the gap.
Está preguntando si hay algo que los empleados de MST pueden hacer con la ciudad de Greenfield para ver si podemos dar más información para que no haya tanta confusión con lo que está pasando.
So admittedly, I don't know exactly what I'm asking, Carl, because the options do seem very,
Let me make an offer.
okay.
So,
Or
I
actually, I want to hear from the board.
if I can offer an idea, I think Supervisor Alejo actually, through his questioning, figured out what that needs to be. Because the rides program, Supervisor Alejo, through his questioning, figured out, I think, the answer.
El señor Alejo preguntó una pregunta muy buena de cómo podemos hacer, a lo mejor mantener el servicio de MST On Call, pero también tenemos que ofrecer todo eso a las otras ciudades que ya tienen el circulador.
Which was the difference in use between on-call and rides.
Distinguir la diferencia entre el uso del MST On Call y el MST Rides.
And that staff can actually work with the public so that they book their trips.
para que los empleados pueden ayudar a los residentes a reservar sus rides con el programa,
Like they book the on-call.
como lo hicieron con el servicio de MST On Call.
And that's how you can have the short windows or longer windows.
Y así pueden haber ventanas cortas o largas para que el servicio no sea igual.
And that would be how I would hope we would direct staff to work on education with the public on use.
Y eso sería una buena idea de cómo podemos ayudar a estos servicios.
Because what I heard from the public was you're gonna have to figure this one out. What I heard from the public is they were using it this way and didn't realize they can use rides the same way.
Muchos dijeron que usaban, podemos ayudar que los residentes aprendan cómo usar el servicio de MST Rides, o igual como usaban el servicio de MST On Call.
May I offer a suggested board action? From staff's perspective, that might give everybody a little something?
Yeah.
Okay. The contract with MV, who provides on-call service, ends June 30th.
El contrato con la agencia MV se va a terminar en junio 30.
Your board's last direction to staff
La última recomendación de estos miembros
was to stop on-call when the fixed route circulators started Memorial Day weekend. Your board's direction to staff
los miembros decidieron
to stop on-call in Greenfield
de parar el servicio de MST On Call en Greenfield
when the bus stops were completed on Memorial Day weekend.
cuando las nuevas paradas del autobús estaban completas el Memorial Day.
Staff suggests,
Which is the end of May.
Staff suggests modifying that direction to extend MST On Call through the end of June.
MST recomienda que extienden el servicio de MST On Call hasta los fines del mes de junio.
And we use that time to provide training and outreach to Greenfield.
Y usamos ese tiempo para hacer eventos y dar información en Greenfield.
And by that time, we will know
Y en ese tiempo ya sabríamos
the outcome of the local access for all grant from TAMC.
el resultado de el dinero que puede dar la agencia de TAMC que se llama Grant Access for All.
And we will, with new information,
Con esa nueva información,
either provide new services or move ahead with what we have planned.
dar más servicios o seguir con los planes que ya habíamos acordado.
I'm getting a
Let's go to Fernando.
suggestion.
One of my questions is, we talk about transportation reimbursement incentive program and the navigated volunteer program. Are these programs?
Do you want them to hear?
Yes, but that's what
If you go too far, she can.
But, okay, so we talked before about the TRIPS program and the navigated volunteer program.
Hemos hablado del programa de TRIPS y del programa navegador.
So do we have these programs implemented in South County?
Yes.
Tenemos estos programas en South County y el
Say,
gerente
travel.
Carl dijo que sí.
You said trips and
Yes,
navigators.
and
yes.
navigators.
Yes.
Okay, so
I gotta leave in 5 minutes.
maybe expand a little bit more into that.
We can look into that and report back.
And the other thing is that I wanted to make a comment.
Quería hacer un comentario.
Could we go back and see how much people are using the ride program or the MST ride in Soledad and Gonzales?
Queremos ver cuánta gente usa el programa de MST Raids en Soledad y González.
Yes.
So that we can get information and provide that information as education for the people in Greenfield.
Para agarrar la información y dar a los datos de esa información para los residentes de Greenfield.
Because when I saw the route in the circulator and bus,
Cuando vi la ruta del circulador,
there is more stops in areas that are not. Let me rephrase that. There's less stops in the poor section of Soledad.
hay menos paradas en la
Sección.
sección más pobre de Soledad.
So I'm wondering if that is also happening in Greenfield.
Estoy pensando si eso es lo que también está pasando en la ciudad de Greenfield.
Both in Soledad, Gonzales, and Greenfield, staff proposed stops and the city staff did not approve all of them.
Can you repeat that?
The city staff in Gonzales, Soledad, and Greenfield did not approve all of the stops proposed by MST.
En las ciudades de Soledad, González y Greenfield no han aprobado todas las paradas.
So can we get that information so that
We can provide you with what was proposed to each of the.
No,
cities and what was allowed.
the usage. How many people are using the MST rides?
Yes, we can do that.
Yeah, so that we can show the people in Greenfield that it could be effective as on call.
And we used the MST on call ridership to develop where we wanted to put the stops. That is why 98.6% of current MST on-call served locations are within a 10-minute walk of a proposed MST bus stop. Because we used, who are using it now, we put the bus stops closest to them. And we did that in all the cities where they were allowed. I am getting concerned for a quorum of this board because we have some very big items that we need to have decisions on related to contracts, so.
Yeah, Chair, can I see if we can wrap this one?
Yes, if that, let's go ahead and, there was a staff recommendation.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the staff recommendation seems reasonable. It gives staff more time to be able to do the education outreach to Greenfield. Also monitor to make sure the construction of the new bus sites are completed. So an extension of the on-call seems reasonable, and monetarily, it seems like a good compromise. So I'm in favor of that. And I think our staff's willingness to adapt to that would give us what we're after.
Give us some time to breathe.
Give us some time to breathe, give us some time for outreach, and also gives us some compelling evidence gathering time to be able to share with Greenfield about making sure that they're using rides in the appropriate way, as well as the new routes that we have actually puts the bus routes, the bus stops close to where the evidence shows that they need to be. And so I think we should go with
Let me
this.
rephrase that, and you correct me if I got it wrong.
Yeah.
Director Smith supports a recommendation
El director Smith aprueba la recomendación
to extend MST on call
para extender el MST on call
through June 30th
hasta el 30 de junio,
to allow MST to work with the community to better educate them on how to use the new transit service.
para darnos tiempo para educar los residentes de Greenfield en cómo van a poder usar los servicios.
I would ask for a friendly amendment or clarification. I would not use the word extend.
Okay,
I would use
Continue.
no to the end of the contract. And,
oh,
but
What
I
isn't the
want
contract
to,
ending?
yeah, okay,
it-
Contract ends in May.
yeah, but we're not we're going to allow the contract to end on its,
We're gonna modify the end of the contract.
we're going to continue the service through the end of the contract.
correct.
Okay,
Yeah,
And.
Is that what you
that's the-
intended?
And that's the end of it.
yes, that's my intention.
And staff, you did have the direction. Right. So-
yeah, to continue the MST on-call through the end of our contract with MB, which is June 30th, and to continue to work with Greenfield to educate and communicate for the new services. That's the motion. And I'll just say MST will continue to look for other mobility options as they present themselves, with especially regard to taxi cab or Uber type services.
So
Or
Smith made motion, I'll second it, and then we have to vote.
So we have the motion in a second. Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Any
I
abstentions?
oppose.
Pardon? You
Ariana is
opposed?
opposed.
One no.
Okay,
Two no.
Ariana.
You know.
And Soledad is no.
okay. Okay, any abstentions? Okay, and for the number on the vote, or
It was
One,
just
two,
for the record for Jeanette?
1, 6, 2, 3, 4.
Six,
Six,
six
two, right?
versus two.
No, we just need to say who
Okay.
was absent and then.
Well, we have it. We have this all being recorded. We'll figure it out.
Okay,
Thank you. And I see a potential employee of the month coming up here.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
some money. Put my envelope.
with that, I do know that time is of the essence, so we'll go ahead and move on to the next action item, 6.2.
Sharon, I don't know how much longer I can stay too. What-
We'll try to wrap this all up in a half an hour
And this is a
or less. It's up to you.
surf busway and bus rapid transit. And I thank everybody.
There
for
is a
staying.
staff report that is a full staff report with a recommendation to approve a contract with Granite Rock Mart. Is
I
there a
would
need
make
for any
that
further
motion.
discussion?
I'll second it.
Well, hold on. I'm not sure, Mike, that you want to make that motion because I think our folks from the city of Marina were interested in it.
I'm sorry, I will recall that.
So I'll motion that we approve the Granite Rock contract for 59.2.
Second.
Point of order through the chair before we entertain the motion. Let's go out to public comment.
We will go out to public comment. Public comment is open at this time.
Christopher Wilmot.
Hello.
What I know, I don't
Hello,
remember.
greetings everyone again. For the bus surf project, I'm gonna say I'm for, but in a certain caveat. Can we make, like, when the new schedule comes out for the bus surf program, can we actually get the 20 to be every 15 minutes before it's built? Because then we would have the ridership. And that would probably make the surf project go along a little bit quicker. I was thinking maybe we could just make the 20 or 15 minutes like during peak hours and then make it like 30 minutes during like non-peak hours, because that would actually work out beforehand. Cause I kind of thought about it. I was thinking, what would my dad say if he was still mayor, basically? Get the ridership first and start building in junction with it. So I was thinking, like, when the new schedule gets published, should we make the 20 every 15 minutes despite like the traffic being an issue?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Public comment is still open. And
See any more public
No.
comment?
no further public comment.
There's a motion from Delgado and a second from.
Madam Chair, I'm sorry, there are three things that
I was just
okay.
gonna get to that, so So we'll brought it back. There is a staff recommendation on page 65, and that is 3 items. Can those be taken together or separately?
If the
with these
motion
numbers?
maker wants to modify his motion.
Yeah, so I'll A, B, and C authorize general manager to execute the construction contract, Granite Rock, 59.2 million. Authorize same to, or there doesn't need to execute the contract change orders up to $250,000 each for this project, but not to exceed the maximum budget. And lastly, allocate 11.1 million in project contingency funding as required by the FTA to pay for unanticipated costs during construction.
Okay, thank you for reading that off. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstentions? Motion carries. We'll move on to the next item.
There's some board here.
Agenda item 6.3 on page 69, and this is the East Salisal Bus Rapid Transit Feasibility Study and Salinas Transit Center relocation study.
And no disrespect to Emma Patel, our manager of planning, but you have a full staff report and analysis. And if you're welcome to ask Emma questions, or if you feel fully informed, you could move forward.
So directors, any questions at this time? Emma,
After we go out to public. Go to vote.
we will go to public comment if there's no comments or questions from the directors at this time. We'll go ahead and move down to public comment. I'll open the public comment at this time, and if you will, please state your name and comment, and you will have 3 minutes for your comments. And public comment is open.
I do not see any requests for public comment online, and I do not see anyone in the room looking to make public comment.
Well, with that, we'll close public comment and we'll bring it back to the directors. There's a staff recommendation on page 69 to authorize this general manager to enter into the contract with Kimberly Horn and Associates to conduct the Salisal Bus Rapid Transit feasibility study and Salinas Transit Center relocation study in the amount not to exceed $547,420 for the required scope of work in a total of $79,119, and the optional task of which may not be conducted with a total contract value not to exceed $626,539. We have a motion and a second. Jeanette, did you get those names?
Yeah, first from Barrera and second from Navarre.
Okay.
It's actually a Pacheco beat me there just
That's
slightly.
fine. You can have it.
No.
Pacheco?
We want the particular man.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Not hearing any or any abstentions, motion carries. We will go ahead and move on to the next item, which is reports and information items. I don't think they do not require action, so we will
They're all there.
skip those and move on to
Closed session.
closed session,
Before you-
directly to closed session, item 10. Yes.
Before you do that, on item 8.3, is that now, I just would like to make a suggestion to add something for future agendas.
Oh, we can do that.
Can we look at options and costs for translation services?
Yeah.
Professional translation services?
Yes, very well. Yes. Was gonna happen anyway, but thank you for the direction on that. And
Thank you.
this was, we have staff who answer questions in English and Spanish about where my next bus is, but this is beyond what we ask of them, and I apologize, didn't realize it was gonna go that way today.
So we will be, thank you, Mr. Pacheco.
Thank you.
We will be going into closed session, so
5 minutes, Mike,
we will
5 minutes.
conference with real property negotiators regarding a property address at 271 Rionda Street in Salinas. I will open it up to public comment for anyone at this time before we go into closed session. Public comment is open. They all.
Everyone's on roll.
Public comment is closed. No one online? Okay. Now let's go.
You should have been an interpreter. You know, like Spanish, Czechoslovakian, and Ukrainian, Russian, Hawaiian, or whatever your flavor was. All right, go next door. Folks, next door.
In this
Yep.
part.
Oh, we have a super secret room over there.
All right. In this part.
Yeah.
People don't have stuff. They walk into their.
But I wanted to-
their,
No,
lawsuits come with their shit all too.
So if you
And
get,
most of them don't complain.
if you get off for Greenfield, bonus, you would do on call.
Yes.
That would be sick.
Definitely.
That would,
And the reason why there's no complaints is because people who need, many people who need the service don't ever complain.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, who's gonna eat this cake?
Oh, okay,
Never worked in a transit district. before.
Michael, are you
Oh,
with
that's a good
us?
start.
Okay.
Michael, can he be unmuted?
Yeah.
I am here. I don't see no
Okay.
video though.
Okay,
Okay, we are coming back from closed session and, re-adjourning. Did you want to report out, Michael?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. So the board did meet in closed session on the one item. This was conference with real property negotiators regarding the property address at 271 Rionda Street in Salinas, California. MST property negotiator was Carl Sidoric. Owner of the parcel is Joseph V. Rossi. In this discussion, there was the focus was on price and terms of a potential lease going forward. There was direction provided to staff, but there's no reportable action at this time. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Michael. With that, it is 12:51 and this meeting is adjourned.